All right, well, she dropped the camera dropped, so I have no idea where I left off talking. Y'all know me, I'm full of shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna get this trimmed up good. So while I was thinking about this, one of the things I didn't tell y'all is the temp to cook your brisket at. Now, that is a personal preference. I think that politics and religion are the things people fight over the most. You know, also whether fat cap up or down, and is the Texas crutch a real thing. I personally don't really give a shit what temperature you cook at. If you cook it low and slow, you can make a great brisket. If you cook it hot and fast, you can make a great brisket. Because I got class coming up in about 2 hours, I'm gonna go low and slow all day. This is just gonna sit here and cook, and just I'm gonna let her run. And she's gonna come. I'll come back from class and I'll have a big, beautiful piece of meat sitting there waiting for me, just telling me it loves me. And I mean, who don't want that? So this is that hard piece I'm talking about. I don't know if you can hear that. It's also like kind of yellow. So maybe this came from an old bull, old cow. I don't know. You guys are gonna love this though. Look at that. So you didn't lose any meat. You know what I mean? I know people are like, I don't want to trim a brisket, I'm gonna lose all that meat. You didn't lose any meat. There's like nothing there. You can't even feed your cat with that. If you have a cat, which gross. You gotta get in there and get in there, have fun with it. I mean, at the worst case scenario, you cut too much off, you know next time. It's an expensive lesson because briskets are not cheap, and you really don't have to do this, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I like to cook it this way. Big part of the reason I do it is because I like uniformity in the way I cook stuff, and everybody that comes to my house kind of likes like that. See, that's getting soft there. That right there will render mostly. Some of it won't, but most of it will. I like to have the uniformity. I like to know when the food's gonna be done, and the more fat you leave on there, like I said, it's an insulator. It takes forever sometimes to cook a piece of meat this big, first of all, and then yeah, look at that. She's looking beautiful now. Looking skinny, looking like a supermodel. I like it. You know, it takes a while to cook, and then if you don't, it takes a while to cook regardless. Briskets are notoriously finicky anyhow, because they'll do that whole stall, and you'll get that stall temperature, which, I mean, it can sit at 180 forever. And then when you're stalling, it's, dude, you know, you're just sitting there waiting. You're burning charcoal or burning pellets or burning wood, whatever you're using as your heat source is burnt up, and you just, I mean, granted, you can sit around and get drunk while it's stalled, but that's about it. You ain't eating nothing. And I've heard people say, you know, an hour per pound or whatever, and I've tried all those methods. I've tried every single method there was to gauge it, and maybe I'm just bad at that, but it don't work. Like, that don't work for me. What works for me is I let the brisket cook till it's cooked, and when it's done, it's done. I mean, shit, it ain't. I ain't in no hurry. If I was in a hurry, I'd go fast food. You know, good brisket, good beer, good whiskey. It takes time. Good art, good movies. All right, so that was the deckle fat. You saw that. Now this stuff right here, you don't have to peel off. It's a personal preference for me. I like it. I like a nice, skinny, pretty piece of meat. And this fat right here will render, just melt right off. And so I won't pull it all off, but like some of this stuff, yeah, why not? Actually, there's a live edge there I want to take care of too. This right here. Look at that. Look at that. See, it just pulls off. I mean, that's all stuff that's not food anyway. Not really. I mean, I guess it is calories, but not the calories I want. I want the meaty. I want the good stuff. See, look at all that fat. Fat and skin. All right, so this is what I was talking about, that live edge. Now this might piss some people off, but you know, it's my brisket, I'll do what I want. I don't like how rough cut that is. So I'll take this knife and I'll just come down and I'll square it up. You know? Now if you wanted to, you can round these edges. And that's actually what we'll do. Round these edges like that. And that is meat, but it won't, if you leave like these little sharp points, those will burn. So you kind of round them, it helps a lot. It makes it kind of look like a spaceship, or a giant tongue actually right now. But I mean, that's a brisket. That's a trimmed brisket. It's you know, looks good. I mean, I'm sure I missed some spots. I mean, and that's the thing too. You could also spend all day trimming a brisket till it's perfect, and you'd be stuck with a pile of meat and no brisket. So there's a point at which you got to call the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's tough right there. The tough stuff, man. You don't want that tough stuff. You don't want to eat on that. There we go. Man, she's looking pretty though. She's looking pretty. All right. Next thing you do is you're gonna take that rub and you're going to be liberal as hell with it. And that's about the only thing I'm liberal with is lip rub. So you're gonna take it and just gonna drop it on there and coat it like you just love it. Like it's your girlfriend and you think she's pretty and you're gonna shower with affection. And salt and pepper and garlic and paprika. Yeah. Just pat it in a little bit. Let it sit, soak in. You guys are gonna thank me after this. You're gonna be able to cook a brisket for your girlfriends or your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. You're gonna be like, they're gonna think you're a damn genius. And you'll be like, no, just some redneck from Texas taught me how to do this. And then they're gonna wonder how you met a redneck from Texas. All right. I know all you people are probably lawyers and future doctors. Especially the people I'm making this for. Or my friends at Tech Law. I am not a lawyer. But I probably need to have a few on my side. So I'll prepay my legal fees with that brisket. Pork butt and all the good stuff, you know. But it's like bartering. Or if in my accounting class they would call it prepaid expenses. All right. So I'm about to sneeze again because this damn pepper is everywhere. As you can see, it took on like a red hue, and it's got like a crunch already on it, and that's the bark. And there's your meat that we trimmed. So we really didn't trim that much off. This is a 15-pound brisket. We probably trimmed, I don't know, 2 pounds off maybe 3. So you got at least a 12-pound brisket here. And it'll cook faster, it'll cook clean. You're gonna love it. So what I will tell you is this. You're gonna want to set your temp on your pit. I do 250. I'm gonna put a meat probe here and here. So on the skinny side and on the fat side. And the reason I'm gonna do that is so that, because we know that this is gonna cook faster, right? And this is gonna should cook slower. If this is cooking too much faster, I can swap it over, like flip it around on the smoker, or I can adjust the way it's laid so the heat, we wanna cook it as even as possible. And once it reaches 205, it's done. Or some people say probe tender or whatever. 200, 205 is, I want to be able to take my meat thermometer and set it on there and push it all the way through and feel no resistance. Basically, that's it. All you have to do. This is it. Took 20 minutes maybe to teach you how to make a seasoning and trim a brisket. Everybody can turn on a smoker. So there you go.